A fragile peace has settled over Port Charles, a deceptive calm that belies the tempestuous undercurrents churning just beneath the surface. In the world of General Hospital, tranquility is merely the quiet intake of breath before the next soul-shattering scream. This week, the city's residents were reminded of this immutable law as two seemingly disparate storylines began a collision course, promising to unleash a shockwave of secrets, betrayals and identity crises that will redefine families and shatter the very foundations of the city's most powerful dynasties. One storm brews in the manicured gardens of the Courtemain estate, where a mother's worst nightmare is realized through a single cold piece of paper. The other begins in the cluttered intimacy of a friend's apartment, where a forgotten folder holds the key to a decade-old mystery, threatening to rewrite the history of a child and unravel a conspiracy of silence. At the center of it all are the eternal struggles of the Corinthos and Courtemain families, whose legacies are once again being forged in the fires of conflict and heartbreak. As old wounds are ripped open and new secrets are unearthed, the citizens of Port Charles are about to learn that the past is never truly gone. It's merely waiting for the right moment to come roaring back to life. A christening, a court order, and a mother's unraveling. The christening of a child is meant to be a moment of pure, unadulterated joy, a celebration of new life and future hope. For Willow Corinthos, however, any semblance of celebration has been hard-won. After a brutal year-long battle with leukemia that nearly claimed her life, a battle fought while navigating the treacherous waters of family betrayals and a bitter custody war, a quiet afternoon by the Courtemain pool with her husband, Michael, and her son Wiley felt like a miracle. It was a fleeting moment of normalcy, a precious respite from the constant turmoil that has defined her life. But in Port Charles, peace is a fragile commodity easily shattered. The arrival of a crisp, official-looking envelope was the first tremor. The return address, a family court liaison, was enough to send a chill down Willow's spine. With trembling hands she opened it, and the fragile piece of her afternoon crumbled into dust. Inside was a petition filed by her biological mother, Nina Reeves. It was a legal document, but its words were weapons, each one a poisoned dart aimed directly at Willow's heart. Nina wasn't just petitioning for the reinstatement of her visitation rights with her grandson, Wiley. This was a full-scale assault on Willow and Michael's fitness as parents. The document coldly and methodically laid out a case against them, citing Michael's recent legal troubles and, in a move of breathtaking cruelty, referencing Willow's own recent hospitalization and cancer battle as evidence of an unstable home environment. For Willow, a woman who has already endured unimaginable trauma at the hands of those who were supposed to love her, this was a devastating blow. The memory of Shiloh, the loss of her firstborn son, the revelation of Nina's betrayal, all of it came flooding back, coalescing into a suffocating wave of fear and rage. Nina was once again threatening the sanctity of her family, using her own vulnerability as a weapon. "She's trying to take him again," Willow whispered, her voice choked with a mixture of disbelief and fury. Michael, ever the steadfast partner, tried to offer reassurance, promising that Nina would never win, that they had been through this before and emerged victorious. But his words were little comfort. Willow's defenses, so carefully rebuilt after her recovery, were down. The walls she had erected to protect her family from Nina's chaotic influence had been breached. This wasn't just a legal maneuver. It was a declaration of war, and Willow, a mother fiercely protective of her child, vowed to fight back with everything she had. "She's trying to rip my heart out all over again," she wept, her words a chilling premonition of the brutal battle to come. This time she wasn't just going to defend herself in court. She was going to protect Wiley no matter the cost. The echo of a lie, a hidden file, and a twin's ghost. Across town, another long-buried secret was beginning to claw its way to the surface. Its origins rooted in one of General Hospital's most infamous scandals. The mystery began innocuously enough, with Maxie Jones stopping by Brooklyn Courtemain's apartment to retrieve a forgotten folder. A search for a simple pen led her to a drawer, and nestled amongst old song drafts and invoices was a thick, unlabeled manila folder. Curiosity, a trait that has both served and endangered Maxie throughout her life, got the better of her. She opened it, and the contents sent a jolt through her. The folder was a time capsule of heartbreak and deception, filled with old hospital records, photographs, and letters, all connected by a single electrifying thread: the late lamented Britt Westbourne. For Maxie, Britt was a ghost from a complicated past. A rival, a frenemy, and in her final moments, a hero who had died saving Jocelyn Jacks. Why would Brooke Lynn of all people be hiding a secret file on her? The documents pointed directly to the dark days of the embryo implant scandal, a time when Britt and her nefarious mother, Dr. Liesl Albrecht, had played God with the lives of Port Charles's most prominent families. But one document in particular made Maxie's blood run cold. It was an ultrasound image bearing Britt's initials, dated to the exact period when Lulu Spencer and Dante Falconeri believed their own embryo was being carried by a surrogate. The attached chart noted an anomaly, a word that hung in the air with terrifying significance. A second embryo. Twin. Maxie's mind raced. Could it be possible? Was there another child, a twin to Rocco Falconeri, whose existence had been hidden for years? The theory gained horrifying credence when she discovered a handwritten note from Britt to Brooke Lynn. Britt knew something about Rocco. The note read, "She told me it didn't add up. Never told Lulu." The implications were staggering. This wasn't just a simple case of a hidden pregnancy. It was a conspiracy that could rewrite the history of the Spencer, Falconeri, and Quartermain families. The revelation was so profound that it echoed in another, seemingly unrelated conversation happening at the same time. At a local coffee shop, Emma Scorpio Drake, a young woman with a legacy of truth-seeking in her blood, was giving her own history lesson about Britt Westbourne to a rapt audience. Danny Morgan and a deeply curious Rocco Falconeri. Rocco, who had grown up believing a simple version of his own story, was now confronted with the possibility that the woman he knew as a family friend might have been his mother. Emma's story, combined with Maxie's discovery, was a one-two punch that promised to unravel a decade of lies. Driven by a need for answers, Maxie rushed to the General Hospital archives, only to find another roadblock. The records from that specific time had been digitally redacted, the key information scrubbed clean. This was no accident. It was a clear sign of a high-level cover-up. Who had the power to manipulate hospital records with such precision? Was it Dr. Albrecht, still protecting her daughter's secrets? Or was there another, more sinister player involved? The mystery of Rocco's origins and the specter of a long-lost twin was now a ticking bomb, and Maxie Jones was holding the detonator. Family at war. A city on the brink. The explosive revelations rippling through Port Charles are not contained to individual households. They are fueling the flames of the city's oldest and most bitter rivalries. The ancient feud between the Quartermains and the Corinthos family, a conflict that has defined the city for a generation, is being reignited with a vengeance. Tracy Quartermain, the formidable matriarch of her clan, has embarked on what she calls a rescue mission for her newly discovered grandson Gio. Her motives, as always, are a complex cocktail of genuine concern and strategic maneuvering. She sees the danger that Sonny's world poses to the young man and is determined to pull him into the Quartermain fold. She confronts Gio, her words a stark warning about the violent reality of the mob life, using Christina's recent near-death experience as a grim example. She urges him to visit the charred remains of Charlie's pub and the grave of Morgan Corinthos, forcing him to face the devastating consequences of his grandfather's choices. Gio, however, is not so easily swayed. He is a young man caught between two powerful worlds, and he sees Tracy's actions not as a rescue, but as an attempt to turn him against the family he is just beginning to know. His defiance is a testament to his growing loyalty to Sonny, a loyalty that Tracy is determined to break. Meanwhile, the official investigation into the recent spate of violence is gaining momentum. Dante Falconeri and Jason Morgan, two brothers on opposite sides of the law, are uncomfortably united in their search for the truth. Their prime suspect is Jen Sidwell, who they believe orchestrated the fire at Charlie's to frame Selena Wu. But the lines of investigation are becoming increasingly blurred, and as the mob war intensifies, the personal and professional lives of everyone involved are becoming dangerously entangled. At the heart of the city's political landscape is Mayor Laura Collins, a woman fighting to maintain order in a city teetering on the brink of chaos. Her re-election campaign is threatened by the escalating violence and the rising popularity of her rival, the opportunistic Ezra Boyle. Her own daughter Lulu is deeply concerned, urging her to distance herself from Sonny and the Corinthos family. But Laura, a woman who has dedicated her life to protecting Port Charles, knows that she cannot back down. She is determined to stay in office, to fight for the soul of her city, even as the forces of darkness threaten to consume it. A future written in secrets. The revelations of the past week have set in motion a chain of events that will undoubtedly lead to more heartbreak and betrayal. The future of Port Charles is a tapestry being woven with threads of secrets, lies, and long overdue reckonings. Several key questions hang in the balance, each one a potential landmine in the city's treacherous landscape. The most immediate question is the fate of Willow and Michael's family. Nina's legal assault is a direct threat to their hard-won peace. Will they be able to withstand this new onslaught, or will the stress and the constant fear tear them apart? This custody battle could be the final straw that forces Sonny to choose between his newfound daughter-in-law and the woman he once loved, a choice that could have devastating consequences for everyone involved. Then there is the mystery of Rocco's parentage. Maxie is now in possession of a secret that could shatter the lives of her closest friends. Will she reveal the truth to Dante, a man who has already been through so much? And what of Lulu, still lying in a coma, unaware of the storm that is gathering around her son? The possibility of a hidden twin opens up a world of narrative possibilities, a storyline that could breathe new life into the show and captivate audiences for years to come. The financial scandal at Deception Cosmetics adds another layer of intrigue. Was Natalia laundering money for Sonny? Or was she acting alone, driven by her own greed and desperation? The investigation will undoubtedly pull in a host of characters, from the ever-dramatic Lucy Coe to the increasingly savvy Brooke Lynn Quartermaine, creating a corporate thriller with high stakes and unpredictable twists. And finally, there is the ongoing saga of Jocelyn Jacks. Her hypocrisy, her love for one hitman and her hatred for another, has become a central point of contention for fans. Will she ever be forced to confront her own double standards? Her character is on a journey of self-discovery, and the choices she makes in the coming weeks will determine whether she emerges as a hero or a hypocrite in the eyes of the audience. The city of Port Charles is a powder keg and the fuse has been lit. The secrets that have been unearthed are more than just plot twists. They are the ghosts of the past, come back to haunt the living and demand a reckoning. As families are torn apart and loyalties are tested, the residents of General Hospital are about to be reminded that in their world, the only thing more dangerous than a secret is the truth. The drama is just beginning, and for the fans who have followed these characters through years of love, loss, and betrayal, the next chapter promises to be the most explosive yet. Thanks for watching this videos. Please hit the subscribe button for more updated news.